This is Jupiter Today for the 30th of November 2014. Jupiter Today is a daily podcast focusing attention on the dynamic Jupiter system for the purpose of monitoring activity. At 0 hours UTC, the position of Jupiter on the celestial sphere is a right ascension of 9 hours, 39 minutes, 34.2 seconds, and a declination of positive 14 degrees, 46 minutes, 13.9 seconds. The angular separation from the Sun of Jupiter today is 105.188 degrees, and that's 0.983 degrees greater than it was yesterday. The distance between Earth and Jupiter is 742,872,343 kilometers. And that's 2,269,416 kilometers closer than it was yesterday. And so Jupiter appears to be moving toward Earth at a velocity of 94,559 kilometers per hour. Of course, Earth is doing most of the moving, getting ever closer to the time when Jupiter will oppose the Sun. That's called opposition. And that's when the Earth will actually be closest to Jupiter this year. And that'll actually happen next year. But if you track these numbers over time, you find that our relative velocity currently is slowing down at an ever-increasing rate. At 0 hours UTC, Io begins the day in Quadrant 2, moving west. Europa starts the day in Quadrant 4, moving east. Ganymede starts in Quadrant 2, moving west. He's pretty soon going to transit. And Callisto spends its entire day in Quadrant 1, moving east, but nearing its eastern elongation. Remember that for when we watch the Stellarium movie of Jupiter's sky. You'll see that Callisto pretty much stays in the same place the entire time. At 6 hours UTC, Io is in Quadrant 2, moving west. Europa is in Quadrant 4, moving east, in the shadow of Jupiter. Ganymede has just transited Jupiter and is now in Quadrant 3, moving west for the rest of the day. By 12 hours UTC, Io has transited Jupiter and is now in Quadrant 3, heading west. Europa has moved behind Jupiter and is now in Quadrant 1, heading east. You'll see that Io and Europa are more or less on opposite sides when we watch the 24 hours of Jupiter's sky. By 1800 hours, Io is in Quadrant 3, heading west. Europa is in Quadrant 1, heading east. And by 0 hours UTC, tomorrow, Io has passed its western elongation and is now in Quadrant 4, moving east. Europa is in Quadrant 1, heading east, but near its eastern elongation. There were 9 Jupiter satellite events, so I will not show graphics for those, but they are: at 1:07 UTC, Ganymede's shadow egresses. At 2:24, Ganymede begins its transit of Jupiter. At 4:33, Europa disappears into the shadow of Jupiter. At 6 hours UTC, Ganymede ends its transit. At 7:59, Eo's shadow ingresses. At 9:11, Io begins its transit of Jupiter. At 9:49, Europa reappears from behind Jupiter. At 10:16, Eo's shadow egresses. And at 11:27, Io ends its transit of Jupiter. There was one satellite mutual event that's going to occur at 6:29 UTC, from 6:29 to 6:33. This 4.3 minute event is when Ganymede occults Europa. The interesting thing about this is that Europa is in the shadow of Jupiter, so actually seeing an occultation probably isn't going to happen. But there is an estimated magnitude flux drop of 0.155 magnitudes. 24 hours of the Jupiter sky. There goes Io transiting. And there's Callisto. Right next to Spica. Remember, right next to Spica. Moved a little bit, not much. There were 2 red spot meridian crossings today, the first at 9:31 and the second at 19:26. There were no new images, no new radio data, and no new papers. So please subscribe. Would also like to hear your comments by sending an email to the address shown. Also send your images of Jupiter or the Jupiter system with the time that you took the images. And until tomorrow, I bid you peace.